living in the fact that you have to be patient. We're living in delay. We're living in the tools of cinema. We're living also in that pace and the fact that you will speak that language and live that rhythm. And it's also sticking to the program radically on each step, because I wrote this very patient, slow burn story and rise of desire. But then when you shoot it, you also have to be patient. You have to resist the strong chemistry that was there. You have to, like for instance, I knew that they wouldn't smile at each other before an hour and 20 minutes. And you have to resist the fact that you could, try to make them smile before. And everybody's kind of telling you, oh, they're kind of moody. They could smile at each other. And it's about, no. Yeah, but maybe you could use it in the editing room. Yeah, but no. And so it's mostly about resisting. And I think, it's how we feel when we fall in love. We patiently hope that it's mutual. It's building patiently, but inside we are so impatient.
When you have a story like this, the chemistry is so important. Without the chemistry, you don't have a film, especially a love story. So what was it like the first time the two of you met? And when did you realize that you had it, that you had that chemistry?
You want to describe it first?
Well, then I had to demonstrate how you were.
Then we met during the casting process because Noémie she was auditioning a bit. I didn't go through the audition, but Noémie would. And well, when we first met, I think it was a nice encounter. So this is easy. No, anyway, it's just a matter. I think the way that we play has really much to do with music, and it's about it's all what Céline just described about being patient is also for us as actors to just really look at one another and not being afraid of the silence and just leaving the room for the other to play. So it's all a matter of melody that we would compose together. And I think we are different instruments, but I think we work well together. And working together was a real pleasure and also very difficult, and difficult in a good way, because we were looking for something very precise, but it was so.
Okay, so the first time I met Adèle was at this audition, and the first thing I remember that I was really scary because I knew who was scared. I know that she was a really intense actress that I admired a lot, and I was like, how is she in the real life? Because you can be always surprised, and it was a good surprise because she came and she was jumping, towards me, like, hello, I'm Adèle, and it was so easy, and so then I felt like, okay, this work with Adèle and Céline, it's going to be easy, going to be a safe zone, and that was like that during the whole process of shooting, and we didn't rehearse at all together with Adèle, because we built this relation, this collaboration between Héloïse and Marianne, the same as we built all our collaboration together. And we were all the time surprised how the other one would send the lines, send the gaze, and the greetings, and we love to work, I think, and love to have fun too. So it was a good mix.
This movie is about many things, and it's a love story, and it's a beautiful love story by by any measure. It's a great love story, period. And, you know, it is also a movie about sexual awakening. So there's something very modern about the way this movie plays out, regardless of it being in the 18th century. It feels radical and current for today. Was that an overt choice to direct it that way, or did it just sort of come naturally?
Well, I didn't want the movie to be anachronistic at all. I worked really, really hard, documented myself really hard. I worked also with sociologists of the arts, specialists of this specific period. And everything is historically accurate. And I think, you know, the project was to give back their bodies, the rush of blood to this woman from the past, to give back their presence. And I think I didn't want to wink at the present from the past, you know? So I didn't want it to be modern. I just wanted to make them alive.
In terms of the rehearsal, the preparation, did you spend a lot of time together before the film started, so you get to know each other a little, or not?
Not at all.
No.
Why?
Why? Because it was not the project, I guess. But as Noémie said, we met. We didn't rehearse together, but it doesn't mean that we didn't work separately. So basically, it's easy, just that you get to learn your lines, but perfectly. So you'll be free after to compose a new melody, to also destroy what should be obvious in your line. There's always creativity in the fact that you will change the meaning of the line, because you change the way of saying it. I mean, it's very, so it's a great liberty in it. But from my perspective, I work more around also intellectual idea or artistical idea that would be, I wanted to build a character that would portray the journey between being an object to being a subject. So this was my idea from the beginning of my seat of time, right? From the beginning, from the beginning of the shooting. So this was the thing I tried to create, to include to my acting, this journey that would involve a slide in the way of acting from the beginning to the end of the movie. It's kind of an inside dolly movement that I tried to do.
Noémie, what was it like, the preparation that you did, especially in terms of the choreography of a painter?
Yeah, that was a big part of the preparation was working with, before the shooting, working with Hélène Delmer, who is the person who is in real painting, the paintings that you see in the movie. I'm sorry, it's not me. I wish that I did more like portrait of Louise, more like Bacon or Picasso. Even more because I'm left-handed and Hélène is right-handed, so it's destroyed. No, what I did is observe a lot Hélène before the shooting and try to catch the gaze of the painter, the gaze of the artist, because I kind of made a mix of Hélène's gaze and Céline's gaze. Yeah, because I think a painter, as all artists, has this particular gaze, which is really concentrate gaze, really mystic also, which is a mix of looking and observe the details, the contrast for a painter, and also have a more global vision of what you do and what you want to share. And I was really trying to catch this. And then there is all the technique and the gesture and the rhythm of the painter between the model and the canvas, and it's 3 steps back, 3 3 steps towards the canvas. This kind of the dance of the painter that was trying to dance also.
So when I saw the film A Telluride, and I met you there. So after I saw the film there, I was going online, I was doing some research about the film. And I think it was at the press conference at Cannes. And you mentioned that this is a love story with equality. And I really kind of got, what did you mean by that? What do you elaborate on that? Because it was such a beautiful description of this movie.
Well, yeah, the movie is trying to depart globally from the narrative of conflict and the dramaturgy of conflict, and wanted to, as it's a story love story between 2 women, and that is something that wouldn't have happened if it was a woman and a man. There is no gender domination. But there is also, we decided not to put any intellectual domination, and even though it's a relationship between also a model and an artist, and usually we portray this with a kind of power dynamic. And we also decided, because I wrote it by myself, decided not to also push the buttons of social hierarchy. So we have a love dialogue and a creative dialogue that doesn't rely on the dynamic, on the usual power dynamic that we used to, which is the dynamic of conflict. It's also the case for the erotic scenes. They are not based on the eroticism of conflict. What happens when you do that? It's politically new, so it's new imaginary, so it's interesting, but also it brings new tension in the room, new emotional journey for you, because it's full of surprise. That's why lies in equality in fiction, and I think also in life, it's that it's full of surprise. You don't know what to expect, because usually we used to see films where the scenes are about bargaining. It's a good bargain. That's how we're told to write scenes. Somebody wants something, the other one wants something else, and in the end, you will end up handing the thing. So yeah, that's what quality is in the film.
You talk about the love scenes being erotic, but they're restrained. Any kind of love story, whether American, foreign, regardless of gender, the love scenes really. They're very filled with passion, and they go at it, and they're so choreographed, where you don't buy it. But this was very intimate and authentic, and again, it was erotic, but there was a tremendous amount of restraint to the intimacy. And what was it like to film, to really capture the intimacy between the 2 of you, to really feel it?
You mean in the particular scene, the particular sex scenes? Well, for me, I think this scene embodies a lot of the program of the movie regarding quality. I must say that as an actress, I've been confronted to sex scene in some other movies, and it's always the same. It's always the moment where you feel the most uncomfortable ever, because everyone is running with that suit and stuff. So because you don't have to stay naked anyway. But the problem is that most of the time, director of lack of ideas. They are just doing sacralized stuff. They forget about humor, they forget about imagination and about ideas, which is not what we miss in this case. In this case, we have an idea that is also fun. That is this field penetration of an armpit with a finger. So to me, it shelters me from everything, because I'm not alone, gesturing with my body in the frame. It's just Céline has an idea that would protect Noémie and I from being too naked in a way. So this is what collaboration is. Then when you feel that you're not alone, there's really much thing you can do. And also, I like the fact that it invents new images. That is something that is needed and also just simply joyful.
Where did you find this place to film this?
As you mean?
The location.
Oh, I thought the sex scene.
The whole movie. Where did you find the movie?
We're going to only talk about the sex scene.
I'm actually going bigger than that. Come to the whole island, you know.
So, yeah.
Beach.
The whole, all the exteriors are shot in Brittany. It was an 8-day shooting. It was the first week of shooting. And then the castle is set as, all my films are shot in the Parisian periphery, Parisian banlieue. And the castle is 50 kilometers from Paris. And it's, we've been hunting for castle, and mostly you visit places where people get married, or places where people have shot already a lot of period pieces, and there's like, you feel it's kind of fake. But we found this, there was a city hall in this very, very small town, and part of the castle was the city hall, and there was a whole part that was untouched for, I think 150 years. So basically we walked in this place, and there was this blue color on the wall that was just perfect. And that's the paradox, because my previous film, there were all kinds of studio. There never was a fourth wall. It was teenage girls' room, but there was a lot of intervention. And it's a period piece, but it's actually my film where there was less intervention regarding the set design.
What makes Céline a great actor's director? Pretend she's not here.
What makes her a good, I think it's the fact that first she created an environment. The fact that she created this environment of kindness, respect, collaboration, this horizontal gaze from the beginning to the audition until the shooting until now, makes you capable to propose and to surprise yourself as an actor and surprise her too. And because there is a circle of fluid, and as she says, it's all about collaboration. It's about no conflict. Not the actor has to fit as an object, has to fit in the vision of the director, of direction. That's what I would say, that I would not use the term of director. And so it's more consentment, and so, as you say, full of surprises and full of proposition. I think that's what makes her a good director. I don't know the words. I don't know what English, but.
All right, the last scene. I'm sure you get asked this all the time.
And I never answer.
What was it like? First of all, how many times did you shoot it? And what was it like for you to film that? Was the music playing while you were filming it so you could react to it? Tell us about how you filmed that very last scene.
Well, it's kind of a secret. We did only 3 days. It was just 1 or 2 were shot because we had like a big technical problem, because there are very few lights, and anyway the focus is very hard to do in this scene, so I have to be very focused myself all day long. So when the 3 minutes are there, you have to be there because it's just 1 minute. So. And then I think I prefer not to say what was happening while we were shooting this scene, just because it belongs to you.
Why no score?
Well, it's a decision that I took very early on in the process of screenwriting, because that there would be no score, no music, which was kind of scary because it's a period piece, so usually it's like music all over, and also it's a love story, and every love story has a score in cinema or in life. But it was because of the reconstitution. I wanted to put you in the same state of mind, for you to share that frustration, that beauty is so inaccessible. Finding a book, you're gonna read it 3 times. and want to hear music, you have to go to church, which explains the success of religion. I don't know if I can make that joke here, but I just did. Okay, thank you. Yeah, once more, it's a matter of being equal, sharing the experience of these characters, and also absolutely believing in the power of music in cinema, and that is that when it happens in the film, you'll definitely connect to this idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so riveting and mesmerizing. You just totally get consumed and engrossed by the film. Like, what kind of an impact do you hope that this movie makes? Like, how do you hope it changes the dynamic with the way movies are made and embraced?
Well, I hope it has an impact. I mean, I hope you feel seen. I mean, the movie is all about the power of the gaze, the fact that, I mean, you look at the film, but the film is also looking at you. I hope that you feel looked at by the film, and in the end, I want you to leave the room thinking about yourself and also your love for cinema, because that's what this final scene is all about. You know, at first you are like Marianne, you think about Marianne watching Eloise, but at some point you are in a theater seat, Adèle is in a theater seat, and you're not watching Eloise, you're watching Adèle and Haenel performing, you're watching an actress, you're watching cinema, it's cinema unveiling itself, so that suddenly there is room for you, there is room for your own love stories, for your own souvenir, remembrance, so yeah, I want you to leave the room full of this story, but also full of your story.
So, this Cannes Film Festival, and Telluride, and then Toronto, and then the film opens a little in LA and New York. So everyone loves the film, like the masses love the film, the critics love the film, and it's 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know what Rotten Tomatoes is? All right. It's a big deal here. It's a little overrated. Sorry, Rotten Tomatoes. But how proud are you that the film has been so embraced? Who wants to take this?
Well, you're proud. Sure. No, but what Céline says, I think, is what matters the most. I think is that you, like, as she said, that you leave the room with maybe a different perspective on your own story, or even just the time to think about the story in a different perspective. So that's what success is, you know. I think it's more about how deep it can, I don't know what, but touch you. Or this is what success is. It's not a matter of sheep or figure. It's not a matter of figure. It's a matter of how it's going to be put.
How for you?
I will answer the question, but I have this feeling of we see so like lots in the culture. The culture is the patriarchal culture, male gaze, and I was not even noticing it before I brought the script aside. But I read the script and I shoot this movie and I share it. Is that this is a new experience. This is new images. It's like the first portrait that Marianne did. Is the portrait stuck in this male gaze, and this new portrait that she finds with this collaboration, this love story, this sorority moment in this movie, she finds a portrait that looks like more than Eloise and looks like more herself as an artist, as a woman. And I think this movie is this experience of this movie and why maybe a lot of people appreciate it, because maybe it looks like more them, and that I've been missing. I don't know, Peter?
You got it. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of requests. One is, can you please stay seated while we bolt and exit? The second request is the booty opens nationwide on February 14th. So please, right, spread the word. And ladies and gentlemen, so when you see a film like this, and you love a film like this, you want to spread the word. So how do you do that, right? Social media, So go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go on Facebook. You in the back, you're still using MySpace. Totally cool. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, portrait of a lady on fire. Thank you so much.
Thank you.